Greer's body. Off your leg! Whoa, wait, no! And Hopkins will get it back.
Modern lacrosse is a really dope sport. It's fast, it's tough, it requires finesse. In order to be really good at it, you gotta be pretty smart. They don't call it the fastest sport on 2 feet for nothing. But the funny thing is, the fastest sport on 2 feet was actually getting a lot of criticism for not being as fast as it could have been.
Are you kidding me?
In fact, people were saying it was moving too slow. Since I picked up a stick in 2001, field lacrosse has seen a lot of rule changes to try to speed up the flow of the game and attract more fans. But what if I told you that the first big rule change that affected the flow of the game now didn't actually start with the shot clock, or face-off rules, or the crease dive? What if I told you it all started with an air horn? For much of lacrosse history, even up to my last college game in 2012, anyone on either team, player or coach, could pretty much just stop the game and set the field with whatever player they wanted for that situation, almost as if they had called a timeout, but no timeout was necessary. All that had to happen was the ball had to go out of bounds on the sideline and someone had to yell, "Horn!" Okay, for some of you younger fans, let me just explain what that is real quick. It used to be that if a ball went out of bounds on either sideline, either team could call for a horn, which is basically a period of free substitution where players can run on and off the field at will during a dead ball and basically set the field however they want for the next play. So for up to 20 seconds, both teams could just send players in and out to set up for a ride, a clear, or just to play offense or defense at their best capacity. But then when you consider the fact that there was no actual rule against asking for a horn and then not substituting anybody, it basically meant you could just slow the game down to suit whatever your game plan was or to hamper the other team's game plan. And as you could imagine, this all made the game move so slow.
Win a horn! Win a horn! Let him sub! Let him sub! Let him sub! Get the right number.
So with so many opportunities to substitute players, teams just started specializing. And that period of lacrosse saw the most specialization the sport's really ever seen. Teams that I played on had riding middies, clearing middies, offensive middies, defensive middies, on top of having Fogos and LSMs. And since horns happen so often, there was such little downside to having offensive middies on your team that were more like attackmen by nature, because there was such a low likelihood of them actually getting trapped on the defensive side of the field. And that really started to take effect in the high school level, where there's more turnovers. So more turnovers, more substitutions. More substitutions, more opportunities to get the players you want onto the field. So when all that specialization finally started trickling back up to the college lacrosse world, the rules committee took a look at what was going on with the pace of the game, and they were like, nah, bro, these horns gotta go. So in 2013, yo, this bush is dope. Hold on, let me post up right here. Does the background maybe look good? No, I'm just playing. Anyway, like I was saying, so in 2013, the air horn finally disappeared from the scorer's table at lacrosse sidelines everywhere. And as a fan, I do still get a little bit nostalgic for the sound of a horn, just because to me, it like sounds like spring lacrosse. Like, that's all lacrosse I ever played. But as a fan and as a current player now playing men's league, I do not miss the horn, man. It is so much more fun to just pick it up and go straight off the sideline. I mean, it wasn't a secret. Everyone had already seen and loved how quickly restarts happen on the end line. So the fact that now they were happening on the sideline put the fastest back and fastest game on 2 feet. And in 2013, the impact on the game was pretty much immediate. O-mid started getting stuck on defense more, and D-mid started taking on more of the clearing duties because teams just couldn't set the field the way they wanted to anymore. So what that led to was what we were all craving: more chaos. So this obviously led to teams wanting to push the tempo more off of a turnover to take advantage of the personnel the other team had on the field, especially if the turnover happened opposite the box, because now they're really stranded. Like, they can't get a quick run and get a substitute, get another midi on. Nope, you better get back in and play some defense. As a matter of fact, the number of shots per team per game year over year from 2012 to 2013 jumped from around 34 to around 36. And that might seem small, but it's just proof that teams were willing to go to the rack quicker off a turnover. Shout out my man Joe Keegan for that stat pull, by the way. So after horns finally disappeared in 2013, we started to see the slow dying out of the ultra specialized midfielder and start to see the re-emergence of the 2A midfielder. Because since middies were staying on the field longer, they were being asked to do more, and that breeds more versatile middies. Grab a seat right here. So the game went right back to demanding midfielders that could run the entire length of the field and do a little bit of everything. This was already really prevalent in pro lacrosse where there were no sideline horns, and now it's even more obvious than ever in the PLL with guys like John Haas and Brent Adams. All right, now let me be clear. Naturally, there's always going to be players that skew towards one side or the other as far as being better at defense or offense if they're a midfielder. But the simple fact remains that less opportunities to leave the field naturally creates more well-rounded players. Like, I'm already dummy hyped to watch the young guns like Marquez White at Princeton and Brandon Viles over at Q's, who are just as nasty at offense as they are at defense. And in all honesty, all this just has me thinking about guys like Matt Abbott from Syracuse and Chris LaPierre from UVA, who were hailed during the Horn era as premier two-way guys that could just get it done no matter what. Just think about the amount of havoc those two could have caused if they had played their full careers in an era where there was no horns. Bro, it is like basically sundown. Who is weed whacking right now? All right, look, anyways, I know what some of y'all are thinking. The shot clock obviously had a huge effect on pace of play when it comes to college lacrosse. And we're still in the beginning stages of figuring out how all that works and what's going to become of it later. But I honestly don't even think we get there as a sport if we don't take horns out of the game first and see what that gives us. Ooh, yo, that wall is dope. Look, y'all, I'm a photographer in my spare time. I am a sucker for a good wall. Take pictures of people against. Look how pretty this wall is. Boom, let's go. So anyways, that's it for today's Weekly Watch episode. Hope you enjoyed this deeper look into a little more of an obscure topic. Make sure to like and subscribe and leave us a comment down below telling us what kind of topic you would want us to do this type of video on next. All right, I'm out. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.